Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, so Talk Tuesday. We are at the straight road. It is a bit chilly today, but not too cold. And I'm not gonna lie, I prefer the chill over the warmth anyway, so I'm pretty happy. The dogs are pretty happy. Hi, welcome. So yeah, who do we have today? We've got Phoebe and Tucker, and we've got Denver, Nova out, thank you, Nova Kronk, and Hamish. Hamish, you too. Let's go, bub. Go boy. And we are just past what I like to call Poopageddon, which is usually the first like 20 meters or so of walk. That's where everyone poops, which is nice. Get the odd one later on, but so hopefully in this video I won't be spending some of it trying to open a bag. Yeah, so hope you guys liked last week's video. I thought it was sort of a more chill option and gave you a better idea of what happens on walk, because they do act differently when I'm talking. Well, some of them anyway. Maybe not the tiny hurricane over there, but Nova, thank you, good girl. I love his little floopy ears when he runs, or not run, I'd say that's a canter, but it just when the tips of his ears go up and down, that just makes me happy. Anyways, okay, so what's my topic today? I actually wanted to do a video in the near future of just like rapid fire questions. So if you guys have any like training questions or anything like that, I've already got a little bit of a list, but I'd like to add to it. The idea being is like I have less than 30 seconds to answer the question as best I can. That way I can cover a lot more instead of just a topic per video. So yeah, if you have any questions you'd like to submit for that, pop up, let's go. Good boy. Yeah, and I got a an interesting one the other day. Is like, when is it best to train your dog? Like, at what age? Because the person I was doing the consult with was told by plenty of people that around 6 months. And as Nova's people will tell you, I disagree. I start training immediately when I get the dog. So 8 weeks old, that's when I start training. If you have a really good breeder, they'll actually start working on fundamentals even before you get the dog. So oftentimes, oh, that's where you are, you little swamp thing. Sorry, I was looking for Kronk. Oftentimes, if you get from a reputable breeder, they at the very least have things like house training covered. Some of them even, like the breeder we're looking for Baby Shark, that we're on the waiting list for. She even does things like clicker training. She sets that up before the pup even comes home, which is great. So, sir, thank you. Okay, go. Out. We're gonna leave the crab apple to its crab appling. Kronk, go. He's like, but it could be tasty. He's funny because he doesn't actually chew them. He just carries them around everywhere and makes snorting noises. So yeah, I start training like Kronk. We started training day one. And the reason I do that is because it is way easier. Good smells. It is way easier to prevent a behavior from ever forming than try to fix a behavior that they've developed, if that makes sense. So for example, Kronk, Thank you. Out. Good boy. For example, would be like puppy biting. So when Kronk was little, he's part Frenchie, right? And Frenchies have this thing where they put their mouth on everything. And even though it's not biting, I taught him right away that I was super squishy. And anytime I even felt teeth on me, that it hurt me, and I was very upset about it. So he has never bitten me. He doesn't even mouth me. He gives me boops if I ask for kisses, and occasionally he will like lick my arm or something in the car, or lick my ear, but that's it. And that's because right from the get-go, I taught him that I was super delicate and to not hurt me. Whereas with Evan, on the other hand, he does do the full-on piranha, because Evan taught him that wrestling and stuff like that was okay with Evan. Well, you reap what you sow. So, and often, like, consistency is key in training, absolutely. Dogs can learn different rules for different people. So the difficulty with Evan training him like that, basically, was I then had to teach Kronk that it's not just me that's super squishy. In general, it is people, except for littermate Evan. Because I obviously don't want him like running up to someone and just like mouthing them to death. If you're not a dog person, like, that can be a little intimidating. So yeah, that's one example of that. And even like leash behaviors. Kronk doesn't pull us on leash because he never learned that he could, right? He learned that the proper way to Nova, out. Thank you. Bit of a mohawk there, that's weird. He doesn't want to, honey. Yeah, so when I was leash training him and what, Nova, thank you, carry on. She's like, nothing. Yeah, I see you, get going. God, I keep losing track of myself. All right, today is not the most linear brain day, we'll say. When I was working on his leash walking, like taking him to the market and stuff, him pulling us just was never an option, right? So he might test that later on, but because I have that foundation, it's easier to build on that than if he's already pulling me around everywhere and I have to break that habit before layering in my new one. So yeah, as early as you can get to it. And obviously, like, you're training your puppy, but you're not training your puppy, if that makes sense. Like, you should be having them work for food as much as they will. And doing like little mini, having them sit for you and they get a jackpot of treats. And like when I first started working with Kronk, and I'll do the same thing with Baby Shark, is I have little maybe 1 minute session with them when they're little, because they just don't have the attention span. And then I build on that to go longer. And it's obviously very different, like when you have a trainer who has a dog that they train right from the get-go, it obviously looks very different from like if you've never had dogs before, or even if it's just like been 10-15 years since you've had a puppy and you forget everything. That's normal. But yeah, so that is my answer to that. And you should always start training with your dog as soon as you get them, and definitely start as you mean to continue. So I think that's it for us today. I'm trying to keep this under 10 minutes so YouTube doesn't get mad at me. And if you have any questions about this or any other video, you know what to do. Otherwise, hope you guys are having as much fun as your dogs are, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.